What's up, y'all? This be your boy Scotty, and you're watching my review on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Cynthia. You messy. You messy as hell. And that's all I got to say about that. But I'm going to get into it in just a few minutes. I'm going to get into it. I'm just going to let you know I'm going to get into it. But Cynthia messy as hell. That's all I got to say about that. We start off the episode with this muscle-bound looking ass bitch by the name of Natalie. She's married to ex-R&B singer Christopher Williams, and I'm guessing that she's a friend of Cynthia and Peter. Cynthia and Peter are celebrating their third anniversary or whatever. They've been together, been married for 3 years or whatnot, and they sit around and they talk or whatever. So Natalie, they're having small talk, and Natalie decides to bring up something about Todd, which is Candy's fiance. Apparently Todd dated her friend and he broke her heart and he fucked her over. And she also said that Todd is a hustler. He gonna always find his way in so many words, saying that he is an opportunist, basically putting the opportunist rumors to light, basically agreeing with the opportunist rumors. That's basically what she was saying. So we get into Peter surprising Cynthia with this candlelit table, and he came up with this song that expressed his feelings for Cynthia and how he felt, and he pretty much let it be known how he felt, and he had Christopher singing it or whatnot, singing how he felt, how his money was tight and everything like that. It was nice, but it was boring. I didn't want to watch this shit. So we get into Candy, and she talks to Victor and Don Juan about the play and how everything is going with the budget and how Todd quit. Don Juan doesn't like the fact that Todd quit. Neither does Candy, but Candy feels like it's a gamble. If you want to get to where you need to go, if you want to get to Tyler Perry's, level, you got to take a gamble. And that's exactly what the fuck Tyler Perry did. He was a homeless ass man that got a play and made some motherfucking money. And look at where the fuck Tamika Perry is now. You can't tell that bitch shit. So all I'm saying is, I see where Candy coming from. She just looking for the money. You can't be mad at a bitch for that. You know what I mean? So we get into Nene. She visits Portia's house, and she talks about the decorating. She doesn't like the deer. She doesn't like some of the shit that's in the house. Of course, Nene thinks that she's splendid. So while they're sitting down talking, she gossips about Kenya and how she supposedly got this new car that her oil guru bought for her. And Portia said, "Well, was the oil man at her house?" And she was like, "No, he was not." Basically gossiping about Kenya. When I say Nene messy as hell. So Kenya invites her aunties and her uncles to her house to bond with them. And she pretty much talks about her life and how she wants to have a baby. And they all looking at her crazy like, you need to find your way back into the family. Like, you need to bond more with your family before you try to figure out how you're going to have a damn kid. You know what I mean? And they challenged her to do that. But she wants a child. Pretty much, because her biological clock is fucking ticking and she needs to be trying to have a baby. Pretty much. So Candy and Todd looks at event spaces for her play. And I will say that Candy was starting to get on my goddamn nerves because she was getting annoyed by Todd taking calls from the job. And I'm like, Candy, this man is trying to work. And in the subliminal way, he's trying to prove to Dora the Explorer, your mama, that he doesn't want, that he's not out after your money. He's not trying to be, trying to be an opportunist behind you. He's trying to show that he can make his own ends meet. You know what I mean? But you want to keep him clamped up and you making everybody look at you like the sugar mama that everybody say you is. Shut the hell up. But he decided that he was going to help her out with the play. And she said that if you're going to help me with the play, you cannot quit again. Pretty much. And they agreed to that. So they get ready to go on this wine tasting thing. And they get on a bus. And Cynthia reveals the tea that Natalie spilled to her to Nene, Marlo, Mallory, and Lexis, who is Nene's friend, who is one of Nene's friends and bridesmaids, if you ever seen the I Dream of Nene wedding special. So they talk about that. And then when they get to the winery, Nene starts to complain about the other girl's tardiness. And I'm sitting up here like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You always got to complain about every motherfucking thing. You Rocky and Bullwinkle looking ass bitch. They own a motherfucking bus. What the fuck do you mean? And what the fuck, like, what are you complaining for? Like, what are you giving? Like, I don't understand that, bitch. So, shut the fuck up, please. I'm sick of you and your platinum toupee. Sit the fuck down, bitch. So, they all meet up. All the girls meet up. You know, Cynthia, Nene, Mallory, Marlo, and Lexus meet up with Candy, Portia, and Phaedra. And then wedding stories are traded. And that's when Natalie starts talking about her wedding and her husband. And that's when Kenya comes in and stirs up the mess, stirs it up, stirs it up, stirs it up, stirs it up, stirs it up. And then she's like, you know what I'm saying? But that's not the story that I heard. And it's pretty clear that Kenya feels some type of way about this woman. She don't like this woman. For whatever reason, she don't like this bitch. She don't like her. And you can tell from the moment that bitch came through the pearly gates, she ain't like that motherfucking woman. And it was written all over her face. Kenya didn't have to say a word. So they go back and forth. And that's when Natalie brings up the mess about Todd dating her best friend and how he hurt her heart or whatever. And Candy wasn't fazed by it, period. Like, she didn't really give a fuck about it. So then this is when Kenya and Natalie get into it. And then she starts speaking on Kenya's marriage and and talking about the things that she know. And I'm like, oh my God, Kenya is going in. And for once, I really was enjoying Kenya and her mess. Like, I don't even like Kenya, but from this moment, I was enjoying her and her mess. So then when Kenya and Natalie get into it so bad, that's when she decides to reveal to Candy about the tea that Natalie spilled to Cynthia. Now, Cynthia says that she doesn't want to be put in it. But, bitch, this is why I'm saying that you messy, and this is why I say that this is your fault, bitch. Because at the end of the motherfucking day, you are the reason why all this shit went down in the first place, okay? You had no business telling the messy ass females on that bus about what the fuck Natalie told you. You told Kenya that shit. You told Mallory that shit. You told Marlo that shit. And you told Nene that shit. Motherfuckers who really don't really like Candy like that. And you mean to tell me that you don't want to be put in it? Bitch, you put yourself in it when you decided to bring that shit up. That was your motherfucking fault. But then again, Kenya is not innocent in the situation either, because as much as I was enjoying the mess that I was seeing, this was probably one of the most entertaining episodes I've seen in a very long time. The fact of the matter is, Kenya was doing the most too, because she really didn't have to bring up the fact about the shit about Christopher Williams and what the fuck she knew. She only brought it up because she felt the way about this bitch in the first place. She didn't like the motherfucking woman any motherfucking way, so that's the only reason why she brought it up in the first place. That's why she brought up that bitch tea in the first damn place. So at the end of the day, I just feel like it's a lot of things that it's a lot of shit that went down. I think that this whole common denominator is Cynthia. Even though Natalie did give her the tea, Cynthia was the one who spilled the tea to everybody. And if you haven't noticed, when Cynthia gets around Marlo and Nene, she tends to show the fuck out and become even more messier. That's why I don't fuck with that bitch. That bitch, as soon as I get ready to fuck with her, that bitch be pissing me the fuck off. And that's what I don't like about her. I don't like that shit at all. So with that being said, y'all, I do blame Cynthia for this whole mess, because she's the one who let the cat out the bag. But Kenya contributed to some of this mess too, because she had no business bringing up that man and what the fuck she knew about him, because that had nothing to do with nothing. But just like Candy said, you get mad at Kenya for bringing up some shit that supposedly happened in the past, but you bringing up some shit about Todd that supposedly happened in the past that nobody fucking cares about. And then Cynthia, bitch, you knew what the fuck Candy was saying. Candy was making a fucking example. It's a lot of things that she know about that she heard about Peter. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true, but she don't bring it up because the past doesn't fucking matter. Bitch, you knew that, and then you gonna tell Peter that shit next week? You a messy ass bitch, but next week gonna be off the motherfucking chain. I cannot wait till that episode comes on. So with that being said, you guys, I'm out of here. I will see you from a Love and Hip Hop New York review, and I'm out of here, y'all. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Still Standing Without the G, Instagram at Rebellious_Scotty, and follow my Facebook fan page, Team Scotty. Just type it in and like it, and I'm out of here, you guys. Peace.